This league sounds different. It moves different. Because this is the league that made pickleball a team sport. And that team spirit stretches far beyond the court. The passion runs deeper. And every point carries the weight of more than one name. This is Major League Pickleball, home of the hardest trophy to win in pro pickleball.
The chosen one are the champions. And you want to talk about putting on a performance to remember. That is what it's all about there.
I would say just come on out here and see for yourselves.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's definitely a sport.
Yeah.
It's definitely a real sport.
MLP is kind of one of my favorite events just because you have a team. It's not just on you.
I just feel like there's so much more energy, so much more unhingedness. The signs, the calls, the audience. It's just more like raw and unfiltered.
You look at the brands, you look at the fans, you look at the engagement and excitement, like there's truly like nothing else like it. And you look back at like a couple of years ago and I was like, I think this is going to be really good and this is going to be big. Let's close it on what we wanted.
What we want is to be part of a team, and I think that's what MLP brings in. It's like that energy.
This is my first time seeing MLP in person, and I will tell you that it is twice as exciting as seeing it on the screen.
You're seeing it live, you're just like, wow, how do they actually get there to that ball?
Well, I love the game. I love how it just brings people together, communities together.
Here, the scoreboard matters. But what endures is what surrounds it. The fans who feel every point like it's theirs. This is what happens when individual moments become something shared. When the game becomes a team. When a team and a league becomes a community. Major League Pickleball. There's nothing else like it.
Welcome to the 2026 Major League Pickleball Draft presented by Skechers. They say that there's nothing else quite like MLP, and it's days like today that make that claim hold true. The draft combines the renewed intrigue of a season not yet started with the boundless potential for new faces, new partnerships, and new stories as the league reaches for new heights in year 6. Alongside three-time MLP winning general manager Dave Fleming, I am Will Daughton, and we are privileged to share these moments with you, these moments that will shape the future of the league. And Dave, it is always great to have you by my side at the desk.
It's pickleball Christmas, Will. What a day. I cannot wait to see this intrigue at the top of the draft. Sparkies everywhere. These youngsters going to get picked. I cannot wait. I couldn't sleep last night. I'm like a 10-year-old waiting for Santa to come down the chimney.
So let's get right into it. The draft is going to have 66 picks. And so by the end of it, all 20 MLP teams are going to be able to fill out their rosters and have 6 players on each team. We'll be with you for the first 28 of those picks, where the teams fill out their first 4 roster spots, and then you'll be able to follow along for the rest of the draft on MLP's social media and their website. So with that in mind, let's get into how this thing is going to go down. How is the draft going to work? It's going to run via a dynamic bidding process, which means teams are going to bid for picks. They're going to bid for the rights to each pick instead of specific players, right? So, for example, if there is a player that I just need to have on my roster and I want to take them first overall, I have to outbid every other team to earn the rights to that pick. Does that make sense?
Totally.
All right, we're feeling good. Now, into more details of how this is going to go down. The draft is broken up into 2 parts. In the first part, which is the part we'll be with you for, all teams will draft 4 starters, 2 men and 2 women. Now, there are some teams where they already have that number from the player keeper deadline, so they will not participate in part 1. In part 2, all teams will draft 2 bench players or event specialists for 6 total players per team. And you see there in the quarter the minimum bids for each part, $10,000 paid to the league in part 1, $1,000 per pick minimum in part 2. So, Dave, it is a very interesting and unique draft process. Kind of explain how the MLP draft is different from something like the NFL draft.
For example, my beloved Pittsburgh Steelers need a quarterback, but we cannot outbid the Raiders for the first pick. They secured it by being bad, let's be honest. That's not the way this works. You're going to actually see, we expect, the top teams bidding like crazy to secure that first pick, and then they get to choose whomever they want. The other thing that's really different is you kind of know in the NFL draft, hey, these teams are coming up and I know what they need. So we would see like a cornerback or an offensive lineman that you need. Hey, these 4 teams are going to pick that, so we don't need to make some move. You don't know who's going to be next. In fact, we have seen this go down where a team has 2 picks in a row because they have bid their way into this. So it is wild from that standpoint in that you don't know. Now, what you do know, and we will be helping you with this at home, is what Will just said about you're filling out your 4 starters. Then we do know some things, which is when we get down to the end of this first part, hey, this team can only pick a female, so we're not worried when they are bidding on the clock. Let them go. We don't need that, and vice versa. So that will be very interesting as well. And the big part of this that's new in 2026 is the ability to use your bench within a match. So I doubt we'll see a lot of the singles specialists in the coverage we provide in those first 28, but after that, all of the single specialists are going to be wanted because lots of matches go to Dreambreaker, and you throw somebody out there that's a terrific singles player, your team might just win.
So Dave, let's take a look at some of the top available talent, starting with some of the top available women going into the draft. There was huge headlines after the player keeper deadline. I mean, you look there, Anna Bright, captain of the St. Louis Shock, was dropped. I mean, to the fact that every single team has the opportunity to potentially pick her up in the draft just seems insane to me.
It's preposterous, but that's the way this works. Now, they might be playing chess, not checkers here, because the big thing is any player secured today can be kept for up to 3 years. So maybe the Shock and Dallas are going, yeah, we're going to have to pay a little more, but I'm paying for the future to have my superstars. Now, the problem is, as you said, there's a lot of other teams that can get involved in this. So that's going to be fascinating for me to see that. So, yes, it is stunning to see Anna Bright available, but they want her back. The question is, will they get her?
And it's also stunning to see Georgia Johnson, the 2025 MLP MVP, up there as well. And we saw a really funny video from the Dallas Flash yesterday with Mark Moulton going out asking for some financial assistance to potentially bid to get Georgia back. I mean, but even again, like you said, Dave, just even having Georgia Johnson available to pick up for every team, the league MVP, reigning league MVP, is wild.
It is, and there was a big decision for the Shock. They had to choose between Hayden Patriquin, Gabe Tardio, and Anna Bright. Okay. A great problem to have, many other teams would think about. So then Dallas had to choose between Georgia or J.W. Johnson or Hurricane Tyra Black. And most people would have thought it was one of the other two, not Georgia. In fact, we interviewed, Adam Stone and myself, Georgia with Tyra standing next to her and asked Georgia, hey, which one do you want to drop? It was great intrigue, and it turns out it was her. And Mark Moulton, just to pay off what you just said, literally on the street corners of Dallas with a cardboard sign saying, need money for Georgia Johnson. Just terrific.
And we also have, it's not just those two, Leah Jansen, Megan Dazon, Mari Humberg. Leah Jansen from the Columbus Sliders, the team that just won everything, and they did not have to drop her. They would have been able to keep all 4 of their starters, but they chose to. And, for me, as I look at Columbus and New Jersey dropping both Megan and Mari, we could see an AL Dub times Leah Jansen reunion on the New Jersey Fives potentially.
The scary thing is we could see an AL Dub and AB reunion as far as partnerships go. So are the Fives going to trick this up? We'll see. My thing for them is it gave them flexibility. They can still run it back. I think Megan Dazon played terrific next to Annalie Waters last year. So much pressure when you are put into that spot next to the best player ever with the cauldron, with our guy Ryan Harwood counting to 5, baby. I mean, there is a lot on you. Obviously, all the eyes are on Annalie Waters and the clowns and everything else. So I think she played very well. Mari played very well in that situation. One of them might go back there. None of them might go back there. That's why this is Pickleball Christmas. We don't know what's under the wrapping paper.
And if you're getting anything from these conversations, there are so many potential hypotheticals that could happen. That's what makes today so special, so much intrigue. That's why we're both so excited to be here. We talked about the women. Let's talk about the guys, some of the top available male talent coming into the draft. The top of that list for me is Dylan Frazier. I think he's perpetually underrated. Dave, he's one of only 6 players ever to have a career Triple Crown on the Carvana PPA Tour. That means he's won a singles title. He's won men's doubles titles, many of them, and he's won a mixed doubles title. He's at that top of the list for me.
And it's interesting that we have 3 more established players on our list here, and then a couple youngsters and a real youngster in our guy, Thomas Shimabukuro, who has really gotten a lot of attention. And again, now it comes down to how are you choosing to build your team today? Are you close enough where you want one of the top end guys to round out your roster if you need a male? Or are you like, I am going to get 3 of the teenagers, get a veteran to go with them? I think that roster construction would be perfect. So those 3 have somebody to lean on beyond the general manager, etc. So the other thing about the list that we just had, and you can build your team this way too, you want to talk about celebrity within pickleball showtime. Crime Dog, Tyson McGuffin in there, and then Jack Sock, who is playing well. If I'm a team, I might want Sock just because of the potential. He and Lacey Schneemann beat the Johnsons, so the mixed is there. Men's doubles, get him the right partner to play on the right side, and then his singles is very good. So that is a wild combination for me. And Jonathan Trung, you are on that list because you are playing great. I can't wait to see where he goes.
And Dave, I love the point you made about roster construction, right? You mentioned you can keep your 2026 draftees for up to 3 years. So Jonathan Trung, 18 years old. Thomas Shimabukuro, 15, right? These guys entering their physical pickleball prime, per se. I mean, we've seen the leaps that Hayden Patrick, Gabe Tardio have taken kind of along the same age range. So you could do some serious damage for the future, even if not for today.
No doubt about it. And I got to talk about the Aussies. Aussie. Danny L. Townsend is going to go early in this draft. And she is a player that has some wins when some of our American stars went over there. Just off our top 5 list, she could easily go in the top 5 because, again, as we've discussed, the potential versus what you really know. She hasn't played a match that I have seen on U.S. soil, so how does she hold up when it's consistently that good? The players don't know for sure, and the general managers don't, but man, is it fun to bet on upside. Some teams are going to play it safe and get a veteran. Callie Smith was not on that list. You know what you can get from her. Is that what you want to put, or do you want to bring one of these foreign stars in here and build your team? Can't wait. Fascinated.
So we are just a few moments from the draft officially kicking off, so we'll keep you updated on when bids are going down, when picks are selected. But Dave, while we wait for that moment, you've been in this situation, right?
Yeah.
You've had so much success, Seattle Pioneers, with the Carolina pickleball team back in the day as well, Dallas Pickleball Club as well. What are the emotions like going into the draft when you have, it feels like it's so easy to get overwhelmed with options, overwhelmed with potential?
My big thing is preparation takes away the stress. So if you've done mock drafts as an organization, you know that if these 3 people are gone, we pick this person, and it shouldn't be stressful in that environment. If you haven't done your homework and you haven't done mock drafts and you have not done your what if scenarios, and you aren't as aware as you should be of who needs a guy, who needs a lady, and most of the teams are. And there's a fever pitch. And Will, there are draft parties right now. I love that the Flash Mob and others are getting together to see how their teams get rounded out.
I mean, like you said, it's Pickleball Christmas. Bidding is in progress for the first pick of the 2026 Major League Pickleball Draft. We talked about it in the open. People have been talking about it all week. A lot of people expecting this to be one of St. Louis and Dallas, either getting Anna Bright and Georgia Johnson back, or potentially the New Jersey Fives, but I really feel like it's got to be one of those St. Louis or Dallas teams.
It feels like it. Is there any way like Columbus sneaks in there because they did drop Leia from their championship chosen one season? So it is going to be very interesting because they have like run it back with a new superstar to put in there. Are you kidding me? That's a possibility here.
And you've also got to think, I mean, you mentioned Anna Bright potentially playing with AL. Georgia Johnson and AL have played. They played one tournament, one gold. They haven't lost together. I mean, just it's so scary. And I think, especially after these first 2 picks, you're really going to see the board open up, right? We expect the top female talent to go, at least for the first 2 picks. Yeah. Then you're going to see kind of all of these different strategies come into play for these different teams as we look there at some of the other, the best available men that we've already talked about. And you mentioned Jonathan Trong. I need to give him his flowers as well. Got some great experience with the Bay Area Breakers in 2025. I mean, he's still so young, right? Yep. Only 18 years of age. Played a great match against Ben Johns and Gabe Tardio at the PPA in Mesa, yes. Him and Wyatt Stone, who's also on our list. And yeah, I mean, it's these franchises have some tough decisions to make.
They do, and this is also a place where if you need a guy, just watch. So don't overpay. We think the first 2 are definitely females. So if you need a guy, just watch the chaos and hope. The one thing we don't know, and the other difference to the NFL draft, is there's a salary cap in the NFL. There's a draft pool that how much you pay for each player. None of that exists here. This is infinite, and I am getting feedback from the draft room that shock, sliders, and fives are all involved in the bidding right now. Let's go.
Oh my gosh. So interestingly enough, Dallas not mentioned in that group, but all 3 of those teams needing a female, right, to round out their starting lineup. So they all want Anna Bright. They could all be going after Georgia Johnson as well, but the fact that the Flash aren't in there, that is kind of a red flag that it's not Georgia Johnson.
I mean, but we're not bidding on a player,
right.
So we don't know that. I think what we can interpret from that, Will, is that the Flash don't believe that it's Georgia Johnson with Anna Bright available. So the other perspective here for me, which is so fun, is Anna Bright is so into Major League Pickleball, and her fate is not in her hands. And as a player, that's the unique part of Major League Pickleball, is you are in complete command of your life as a individual player on the Carvana PPA Tour. Yes, I have to play a certain amount of events. I can pick which ones. I can pick who my partner is. I can pick when I want to practice. I am in control. Here, right now, people are deciding the value to them to pick you, and you can only sit there. So I'm sure Anna Bright is pacing around or whatever she's doing in her home, as is Georgia Johnson, and maybe even more so Georgia. She's yanked, literally, from the Flash in a surprising cut. And what if Mama Bear's got to watch 2 different teams in Julie Johnson? So that is going to be fun. The other thing for those of you at home is we expect the bidding situation, which is, as I've and you have mentioned, these first couple, 5, will have much longer bidding, because the way this works, having been in the room, is you get going, and then if somebody has it and the clock is counting down on it, if somebody sneaks in there in the last 10 seconds, it goes back to 30 seconds on the clock. And we know, again, getting information, we're already over 400K. We're over 400K already on this first pick. And it's still shock, fives, and sliders battling. This is awesome.
And it sounds like Adam Stone is well on his way to being correct. From what you mentioned, you said that he thought the first 2 picks would combine to go over $1 million. Yes. I mean, well on our way here with the first pick. And we've talked about these players who mean so much more to their teams than just the on-court stuff, right? You know, how would you say that the role of a captain, right? Anna Bright, Zane Navratil when he was on the Fives, how would you say that role really differs from that of a GM or a coach, Dave?
Well, the big thing for me is that the ability to coach and be connected to your coach, to your ownership. Will, these teams have directors of finance, okay? And they may need you as a captain to get your players to go do a sponsorship event. That's why I'm talking like you control your life on the PPA tour. Obviously, you have sponsorship requirements and so forth. But over here, it is way different, especially if you have a team that's really into what they want to get done from you. And beyond all that, you got to freaking play well, too. So you got to be able to separate all the business side, all the emotions, all the personalities. I mean, you have that group around you sitting right behind your bench. Usually it's your loved ones and your coach. Not that you don't care for your conglomerate that is the organization. Bill, oh my goodness, we're still going, and 4:55 and going, Will. 4:55 and going, and to put that into perspective, this is going to be more than what it takes to keep Ben Johns, because Ben Johns' keeper fee, and I'm not going to get into all that, but what the Mad Drops have to pay to keep Ben Johns on their team is $420. We're above that here.
Just for the first pick. And
yes.
We've seen some of the rosters, come up, the graphics. We saw one for Columbus, St. Louis, and New Jersey. It brings up an interesting point of throughout these 28 picks, 16 females are going to be drafted to 12 males. And so that just goes back to your earlier point, Dave, just every team is building something different. It's so easy, especially when you're able to see which teams are bidding where, so easy to kind of get this tunnel vision of, hey, I'm bidding for this one player, or I want to make sure this team just doesn't get this pick, right? But every team is playing their own ball game, and that really adds to the intrigue here.
And the other thing, you could be just trying to be a problem. I'm going to let that counter that I talked about get down to 5 or 10 seconds. I'm putting a bin in because I know you, as my opponent team, are going to keep going above me. So there's some poking at each other going on in this draft room, and that just happened. It got down to $455K, and with 5 seconds left, the Shock thought they had their captain back, and the Fives have jumped back in again. So are the clowns just making this a clown show from the standpoint of what and how far? Now, you've got to be careful, because the minute you have the highest bid, the Fives might be going, yes, we got him again, and then the Shock are like, we're good. And then you're like, whoa, okay. Now, when you're talking Anna Bright, as we expect, again, we're not picking a player right now. That's the case. But that's why, I mean, this is already, we're 9 minutes into what does this mean, and watching these three. I think what's interesting versus last year, with all due respect to Kate Fahey and Augie Gunn, as you mentioned, it only went to 150 where we topped out. You have a couple of monsters in Bright and Georgia that it's a unique moment in time to be able to get after those two. So the fact that they are available, and the fact that it's not just 2 teams, but 3 and sometimes 4, we're over 600K now. This is unbelievable.
It felt like it slowed down a little bit around 400, but certainly up to 600 now. I mean, I guess you think back to the 2024 draft when a lot of these players were being taken for the very first time. We got close to 800 there. Do you really think we could pass that with this go around?
I think it's very possible. And so just to go back to that, Ben Johns was over $800,000 that day when everyone was available. And the Fives, by my sources inside the draft room, keep telling me it is the Fives that are driving this marketplace. And if the fives get Anna Bright to put with Anna Lee Waters and Will Howells and Noe Cliff, they jump to the top of the entire table. I don't care what happens the rest of the day.
And you have to think about kind of the psyche of each team, right? Obviously, it's a new season, but losses, especially like those the fives have had in the past, right? 2024, you lose in the final to the Dallas Flash. 2025, similar heartbreak to the chosen ones, the Columbus Sliders. That stings, right? And so you get to a certain point of a mindset shift as we see the fives roster on the screen of, hey, I'm going to do literally whatever it takes to get the player that I think is going to help us bring home the trophy. And whichever player that is for New Jersey, it seems like they want to control the market for this first pick.
It certainly does. And fives, shock, sliders are all still bidding.
Oh, man.
This is unbelievable.
Oh, man. Come on.
So that is what is driving. So anyone who's done an auction for anything, whether it's something fun at your school, at your church, if you're a rodeo person, bless you. I'm from Pittsburgh. I'm not a rodeo guy, but I get it. That all it takes is one or two, and then, you know, we've seen that. They have the little things they hold up and the man in the back and somebody talking really fast. So it got down to 2 seconds, I'm told, for the shock at 650 and another bid. The fives jump back in. They're still going, baby.
Oh, my gosh. The minimum bid in this first part of the draft is $10,000.
We've blown by that just a little bit.
Yeah, that is understatement of the year. But as the bidding continues, we talked about some great junior players in the Open. Jonathan, well, not necessarily junior players, but younger on the spectrum. Thomas Shimabukuro, Jonathan Trung. You know, as you've seen so many of these junior players, we have 22 players on the draft board who are 18 years of age or younger, Dave. And we're just the talent you see from the junior PPA, that the PPA Challenger have a lot of young competitors there. What does it mean for you to see how far we've come in the youth movement since you've been around the sport and seen it really since its infancy, at least in PPA and MLP?
It's a simple word. It's proud. I mean, you get involved in something and you are so passionate about it, as I've been for many years, both as a player and now get to be the great privilege of being one of the voices of this sport, and to see all the Sparkies that I call them with love, literally. And every tournament now, you watch the rec play after the pros are done, it's all these little campers out there, and they are skilled. Now we're seeing some of that rise. I don't know if Elsie Hendershot's going to get drafted or not today, but she's 13, and she has so much potential. So you've got all of these kids, and the good news is they're getting to play against each other a lot. The PPA has done an amazing job of making that a priority with the junior PPA program. I mean, we have kids under 10 that are ripping tuies. So it is awesome. So I think the kids are amazing. And Will?
Oh, no.
We are at $700,000 bid by the New Jersey Fives. This is wild. We are 15 minutes. We have had 0 bids so far. 0. This on the screen is just what the current bid is. This is not the bid amount that has secured the pick. So are we going to be here like this for those of you watching at home? No. But what this also does, Will, is it sets the next one up, because whoever loses out here, and I don't know if the Flash are petrified that this is happening, because they're not involved from everything that I'm getting. They're not involved in this. Are they like, whoever loses this 3-way battle going to just come after Georgia, assuming the first pick again is Anna Bright? And then I don't know if Mark can get enough dollar bills put in his little tin at the roadside up here. It is unbelievable. It appears now that the sliders have jumped out of the mix. Shock versus fives, head-to-head. Where will this stop? This is amazing.
And you just said we're close to 700. We're almost at 800 now. 775 is the current bid. I mean, I don't really know what I expected, the sequence of the first pick. We knew it was going to be crazy, a lot of teams chomping at the bit, but this is even surpassing my expectations. And I've been thinking about this nonstop for probably the better part of a week.
Yes, you have, and we appreciate that you have. I didn't anticipate 16 minutes of this for the first pick. I knew that the Sliders might participate in this in some way. The one thing we don't know is what is your budget. And the Fives and the Shock may have already passed their budget. I have no idea, but the reality is they're still going at it. Will.
Oh no.
$990. $990. Are you kidding me? This is unbelievable. So the Shock are now behind the Fives, $990 from the Fives. To get Anna Bright back, it is going to cost $1 million. Are you kidding me?
First time in league history that we've made it to seven figures.
If they don't tap
we get
out.
that $1 million bid, I mean.
So this.
Oh my gosh.
So here's something that this is a misread of what was going to happen, because there was Anna Bright, Hayden Patriquin, or Gabe Tardio. They had to, just to be clear, because you might go, the Shock or the stupidest team ever. Why on earth is Anna Bright even available? They had to, per the rules, to drop one of those three players. So, again, what a luxury, but they didn't win with that team, and we are past $1 million. We got the $1 million bid. The Fives have already bid $1.05 million. We're going to run out of room on the screen to put this up, and there is no maximum.
There is no maximum.
And there is no. We may be here till 10 o'clock, and we have nothing accomplished yet except the intrigue of this. And again, to remind everybody, I'm sure Anna Bright, I can't even imagine what is going on with her.
Why is it taking so long?
Watching this insanity. But this money goes to the league, not to the player. We'll keep repeating that throughout. But $1,005,000 right now.
And it only took one pick to get to that, or one bid to get to that million.
So Adam Stone and I talked about it on the broadcast at Mesa. We thought maybe the first two combined would go over $1 million. We don't even need to add the second pick in there. That's insane.
This one will do just fine. And you talked about kind of the mentality of wanting just to be bothersome, right?
Yeah.
You know, waiting until the clock gets so low, or, you know, really just wanting to force your opponent to spend more money. We're at this point, there's no way the New Jersey Fives are just wanting to challenge or annoy, right? They are fully committed. You don't make a bid, you don't make bids like they've been making without being dead set on using it to get a weapon that you feel is going to bolster your roster, whoever that may be.
And it's a special weapon.
Yes.
With all due respect to Ms. Johnson, this is a special weapon. The number 2 player, bar none, just paired up with Hayden Patriquin, maybe her current or former, right now it's former, partner, and beat Annalie Waters and Ben Johns in the PPA. So playing great, all the leadership, all the off-court stuff, because each team is a business. You don't think they don't want Anna Bright at the meet and greet with the sponsors? You don't think they don't want Anna Bright at the whatever team's loyal? It's gonna need to be a lot to pay this off, but she's the best at all of that. And she has been able to juggle a bunch of stuff and be there. The other thing that I would not worry about is if it's the Fives, who the captain is doesn't matter as much to me, because you have Lee Waters there and Anna Bright and Anna Lee are already together. If it was the old days, AB and Rachel versus CP and Anna Lee Waters, I'd be like, are we making, because again, the collective camaraderie is very important here. And $1.125 million. $1,125,000. This is unbelievable. I'll tell you who is not happy about this for sure is Mark Moulton in the Flash, because I would never, ever say Georgia is a consolation prize. Georgia is by far the second best available player. But if these two are dead set on this kind of bidding, the loser of this bidding
is going
to be extra motivated at, are we going to do $1 million again? Because I know how badly the Flash want to run it back with Georgia. They're sitting this one out to just see the carnage, and it is significant.
And it's so interesting as well because we said minimum bid's $10K. We're just completely ignoring that, right? We went from 1.05 to 1.1. That's $50,000. Add another $25,000 onto that. So this is, yes, you're trying to do the best for your team, but this is a grudge match. It's personal.
Oh, yeah.
These teams, the players on these teams, have histories. They've had some battles, heated exchanges, and this is the embodiment of that, just in another way.
And this is personal at the ownership and general managers now level, where we know both sides, Fives and Shock, if we get this done, we are the favorites instantly. I don't care if Georgia goes back to the Flash with the second pick. We don't know that that's necessarily going to happen. But whoever gets Anna Bright right now is my favorite, non-negotiable for me. Now, you start talking about some other things, okay, but when you can run those two out who are going to win literally every single one of their women's matches, and then you have the best two women to play mixed with, I get it, there may be better men out there, so they may not win men's every time. Still very good with Will Howes rehabilitating an ankle injury and Noe Cliff. But man, having the clutch female right there with them, I mean, they will be that if they get it done, and that's why we're at $1.125 million. And Will, we're 23 minutes and we don't have a pick. Like, at some point, there's no way to, we are close to getting this done, I am told. I am told we are close, so.
Wow. I mean, you said 23 minutes of just straight bids.
Yes.
4 teams were in there, a battle at the end. But I mean, what a way to set the tone for the rest of the day. And that bid secured final number $1.23 million in the St. Louis Shock. Get the rights to the first overall pick in the 2026 Major League Pickleball Draft. But boy, did they have to fight for it.
Man, did they ever. So this is going to set up a battle. We'll get into the battle for the second pick. And if this isn't Anna Bright, I am walking to Newport, and hopefully I make it to my shift on Thursday. I'm walking. There's no way this isn't Anna Bright. No way.
I'll meet you there, but I'm taking the plane. I'm very confident that it is Anna Bright, but we will get confirmation on that in just a few moments. But my goodness, Dave, 23 minutes, are you kidding me?
What a start. What a start.
And it looks like the pick is in for the St. Louis Shock. Both of us, and probably the whole community expected this. Anna Bright once again returns to the St. Louis Shock. Over $1 million to get her back, but.
And here's a good look at some of the footage. So 2 years in a row, the Shock have had to open up the wallet, take out a mortgage on a second mortgage on the home, extend some credit cards, 1.23. Unbelievable. But they feel like they have let a couple opportunities go. Now you're able to build around her. And the reason this number, I'm sure it hurt my friends, the Chaffetz up there in St. Louis. However, they get her for 3 years. So this is all the stuff I talked about, the great captain, the things in the community. The Shock have done a great job, one of the best 2 or 3 at building up their franchise. now they got their star captain back. So
we'll see if we can take a look at the updated St. Louis roster as well. We showed them earlier: Kate Fahey, Gabe Tardio, Hayden Patriquin, now with Anna Bright. Just some quick mental math for you here, Dave. It would have cost the St. Louis Shock $295,000 to keep Anna Bright. This is a little bit more than that, just a bit.
It's just under $1 million more than that.
Goodness.
So we'll never know if Gabe and Hayden, whichever one, had they cut one of the guys. I recommended Gabe on the air on a PPA event a couple weeks ago when asked that question because of the mixed doubles prowess of Hayden with Anna Bright that has only gotten better since I said that with their win in Mesa. So this is a team that feels like they should have won all of it back to back. They haven't won anything. Okay, settle down. Regular season champion, put a banner up, fine. Settle down. MLP Cup.
Wow.
Put a banner up if you want, fine. You haven't won the big stuff yet. Now they have a chance to go after it. And okay, bid 2 is going.
Okay.
Will?
Okay.
Fives. Are you ready for this name? What's up, Arizona? The Phoenix Flames are getting in there.
Wow.
Columbus is in there. And the Fives are running this. We're already at 400 for the second pick. And nary a word of the Flash. But don't think they won't get in. They're just kind of watching the others fight it out. But again, we don't know what exactly the budgets are, and this is exactly what we surmised would happen. The Fives went as far, I'm sure it's like, you know, when you're trying to buy a car or a house and you're like, this is our budget, but we really, really like this one, and you go beyond your budget. At some point, you say uncle. They said uncle. Anna Bright goes to the Shock, and now the Fives are driving this. Will, $550 already for pick 2. $550 for pick 2. Again, not final, just it's crazy bidding here. Again, this is going to change. So just all these big numbers will stop at pick number 3 for me. It will get somewhere interesting, but not like this because, again, drop off from Georgia to the next lady. We're talking the Georgia freaking Johnson, just to remind everybody, the MVP of the league, the engine for the Flash. So this is not just, we talked about team and build-up and an amazing right side player. So, who would the left side player be if it's the Fives? Only the best player in the world.
Right.
And we saw them. They looked arguably better than Anna Bright looked with Anna Lee Waters just because her game style is a little bit different. Okay, Will, $750 is already on the board here between those two.
To your point, the Flash have joined the party in this second pick, now between Dallas and New Jersey. New Jersey, I mean, look, their cards are on the table. Dallas's cards were on the table when they posted
100%.
Mark Moulton
Yes.
asking for money for Georgia Johnson yesterday.
Yes.
New Jersey's cards really on the table. We're like, hey, we want one of these top 2 picks. As you see the Dallas Flash roster there. You mentioned this earlier, Dave. It was such a tough decision. Hurricane Tyra Black or J.W. Johnson or Georgia Johnson. I mean, it's a lose-lose-lose situation, just as it was for the St. Louis Shock at the keeper deadline.
And it continues to be interesting, and I'm told we're getting close to finality here.
Oh my gosh.
So
at least this one is getting very high, but it's still lower, or it's still faster. It didn't take nearly as long to get up.
The amount of time, and we are done. Wow, I can't wait to see who gets this. $800K.
I mean, we're almost at $2 million through 2 picks. And it looks like the Fives outduel the Dallas Flash to earn rights to the second pick in the 2026 MLP Draft.
Mama Johnson, your life just got way more difficult. Again, I will walk to Newport on this one too if this isn't Georgia Johnson. But okay, now, Anna Lee, Georgia, Will, and Noe. I mean, now we have a 1 and a 1A. I mean, the Shock are running it back. They were the choice. So I got to believe this is going to be Georgia. If it isn't, and how sad the entire Dallas Flash organization is right now. Like, we're talking hurt,
right?
Physically. They had this community, and now
Georgia Johnson is a member of the New Jersey Fives, a huge development for New Jersey. They were very aggressive, first pick and the second pick. They outduel the Dallas Flash. And you're not just talking about an amazing, top-notch player, but really the Energizer Bunny of the Dallas Flash for the past 2 years, now up in Clowntown.
This team just got so good so fast, taking nothing away from Megan Dazan, who will be picked soon, I'm certain, when additional females. But we've already seen the women play together, and it was fantastic. Georgia is not the type of player that's going to want to come in there and be the captain and the leader. She has plenty of energy when it's time to play ball. After despising counting to 5, Georgia Johnson is now going to need to learn how to count to 5, and Anna Lee Waters is skipping through the fountain somewhere, because this is a massive, massive move by the Fives, and kudos to the Fives. They had 2 very keepable women, 2 in our top 5 or 6 players in both Megan and Mari, cut them both in case something like this happened. And now the Flash have a couple of things that they have to reconcile. Last year, they chose Columbus over Texas, which many people thought they should do. They lose. This year, they were expected to cut, certainly not Georgia, Tyra or J-Dub. They cut Georgia, and she is now going to be on the other side of the net. And we start the year in Dallas. It's going to be so hard for the Flash mob to look at Georgia wearing a big old clown nose on her jersey, but that's what's happening.
So we have the bidding in progress for the 3rd pick. I can't believe it's been nearly an hour on air, just under 50 minutes, and we're 2 picks into this thing, Dave, and it is a treat. We've had some excellent storylines so far. Already up to $155,000 for the current bid. I mean, and here, we talked about it earlier, I could really see either we go with another female player, one of the great female players we talked about. I could also see the guys getting involved here as well.
And what's interesting for me and what I'm getting from my draft room update is a team that I think is going to get more involved potentially than maybe some thought. Hard Eights sticking their noses in here early. Guess how many players they have on their team? 0. Everyone either couldn't be kept. The one player they did have that they could keep, Blaine Hovenier, they traded to Las Vegas. So they literally need 4 players in this first chunk of the day. And my thing is, did one of the teams that was going after it want to, A, get one of the top players? Do they want to get a player they had at hopefully a lower price point? Or do they want to change? And as we thought, a lot different than 801.1 as we've seen earlier.
$180,000, the bid secured for the 3rd overall pick, and it's going to the Columbus Sliders, the defending champions in Major League Pickleball. So they have 1 opening on their starting lineup right now for a female. So that's going to be the question of who they take. The opportunity is there to go and get Leah Jansen.
There is.
But they would be paying more than they did last year.
I don't think that's it. And this is a team that wants to look at something new. Could it be time for one of the Kangaroos to show up? There's a lot of interest in Danny L. Townsend. We'll see what happens.
And the pick is in for Columbus. The Champs are going to have a new member of their starting lineup, and it is Danny L. Townsend, the Aussie. First Aussie player taken off the board in the draft. You called it. 20 seconds ahead of the action. I mean, what a moment, Dave.
I'm thrilled for her. I can't wait to see her in person. Watched a lot of her, watched her tape, watched when she has participated in some of the PPA Tour events overseas. I mean, nasty one-e flick. I mean, it is spectacular. So much energy. Now I want to see, do you hold up? Yo, Danielle, all you're doing is coming in here and joining the defending champion. Welcome to Major League Pickleball. I can't wait to see what she can do, and what a veteran team to come into. CJ's adorable, unbelievable player. She might play with him, and that is spectacular. Obviously, Andre and Paris play a ton together. They're actually playing in next week's Newport PPA event. So if you see what's happened in front of you, you have got to change something. The Sliders know they caught lightning in a bottle. They won just about every Dream Breaker. They earned their championship. Now they feel like they have changed it. Has it changed for the better? I mean, Leah Jansen's a terrific player. She'll be chosen here soon at some point. But they gave themselves the opportunity to maybe be in the mix at the top, not where they wanted it. And this might be amazing value for Townsend.
And as bidding gets underway for pick number 4, you mentioned you've seen Danielle Townsend play against some PPA players. One of those players was Anna Bright in Malaysia in 2025. Danielle Townsend and Nicola Schoeman beat Anna Bright and Rose Van Riek straight games. That was a massive result.
Yes.
So we know she has a ton of energy. We like her game a lot. This is a lot to like about this pick for Columbus.
No doubt, and it's not settling as a champion, to their infinite credit. I mean, the fact that they are going upside, I don't know. I'll find out. I'll talk to them later today. Did they have conversations, or are they going on the same stuff? I mean, there's a lot of ways to get information. Had I been in this draft as a general manager that I used to be, I would have absolutely talked to the foreign players that I thought would be at the top of the draft, talked to people that know them, because it's not just their game. And I can't stress that enough. When you see a player in the NFL draft fall for character concerns, you don't want that poisoning the rest of your locker room. And I am not saying that about any of the players that are being drafted here. You just want to know, what are they like? What makes them tick? Are they going to fit in with our team? Is our team very chill like the Flash? Is our team very aggressive and into it and right on the razor's edge all the time like the Shock? Or are we somewhere in between like the Sliders? We'll see. And another team that maybe we didn't think would be getting engaged earlier, the California Black Bears, and Eric Tice, welcome to the general manager seat there, are bidding themselves now. We have Dallas jumping back in. We've got Chicago now involved. The Hard Eights again are poking their nose in here again. So this is going to be very interesting. And the other team that's interesting for me, because they don't have any women right now, is Texas.
Exactly, and they, obviously two great males for Texas, Christian Alshon and Eric Onsens, as it looks like we're getting close to having that final bid for the 4th pick. See, now the pace picking up a little bit. No more 25-minute waits.
I mean, we had a 15-round heavyweight fight to start, and then there's a trickle-down effect. And the war rooms that I would like to appreciate are the 2 Texas teams. We'll see who gets this. Texas and Dallas.
And that bid, it was secured at $105,000, goes to the Texas Ranchers, a team you've talked a good bit about here in this program. Obviously, 2 great male starters. And it can be a risky play having your core be 2 guys going into the draft.
Yeah.
Obviously, there's such a premium on high-end female talent.
Yes.
But they've shown they're not afraid to be aggressive early. Christian
Alshon, Eric Onsens. I mean, you want to talk about high-end male talent? and you need to win mixed doubles matches. Alshon finally got the monkey off his back on the Carvana PPA Tour. If this isn't a female, I'd be surprised, and somebody that they can build that around.
And the pick is Leah Jansen. She previously on that Columbus Slider squad, now joining the Texas Ranchers. That is a very dangerous team. Alshon, Eric Onsens, and Leah Jansen. Leah Jansen has had, she played a crucial role in the Sliders championship run. She knows how to win in the big moments, and I think that's something that Alshon and Onsens can really benefit from.
A little chip on her shoulder. You're gonna cut me. You're gonna cut me, and you're bringing in this Aussie, Danielle Townsend. All right, well, I'll see you on the other side of the net on the 20x44, and I'm going to have my Ranchers gear, and man, I don't know which of the two. They'll figure out who their partners are going to be, but either one of those monsters, plus Leia, we're off to a very nice start with that roster, and wildly criticized until now. How do you cut Tina Pisnik? How do you last year trade out Etta Tuionatoa? How do you cut and trade out Caitlin Christian? Like, it felt like they got it together, and now they're going to try a different way under new management. Our guy Ryan DeWidgeon, pickleball, no longer a part of it. Coaching players, it's got so much going on. He's got his beautiful facility down there that a lot of players train at. So faux for faux with the ladies here too, Will.
That is not too shocking, but a little surprising that we haven't seen a team really go all out to get Dylan Frazier, Jack Sock, one of the young guns so far. Quicker pace here in pick number 5. Bid secured at $75,000. And that pick going to the Chicago Slice.
Interesting. So this has to be a lady
because
they've got their 2 guys already. And I am very interested here. There are some players with potential. There are some youngsters that I could see them looking at. And I think we're going to see a name slightly off the board. Last year, they went with the more veteran, fill up the team, hope it works across the board. They have done that slightly with the men. They've got Hunter Johnson and they've got Zane Navratil now. So where's the upside? Potentially, the upside could be in a female that they would pick up right now. It has to be a female. The question is, I think this is going to be a name on the rise for me.
Okay. Well, we do have the pick in for Chicago. You mentioned they went for Callie Smith last year. She is on the board, but this year, going with Jamie Way. This is her first MLP season. She's been playing on the Carvana PPA Tour with Elise Jones, had some really nice wins, especially in recent weeks. And she's been making a name for herself, made a nice round of 16 run in singles in Mesa. So you talk about upside, Jamie Way is certainly the embodiment of that for Chicago.
So tip of the cap, this is one of my favorite players in the draft because I've talked to Jamie a bunch over the last few weeks, and I have watched her play in big moments on Humana Championship Court. And this is a lady with untapped potential. So that is a great, great choice for Chicago. And I think they're going to be very eager to put this together quickly. I wouldn't be surprised if they get in this in the next 5 picks as well. Just let Mr. Saslow and the fam let him go. Let's make up some pizza up there.
There's a look at the updated Chicago roster. Hunter Johnson and Zane Navratil, both acquired in trades during the offseason. Jamie Way going to be holding up the female side for the Chicago Slice.
Jamie she's determined, wicked, tooey. This is nice.
And we already have our bid secured for pick number 6 at $90,000. So going higher than it was for pick 5. I have a feeling we'll see this. And it looks like it is back to back for the Chicago Slice, doubling down. We've got double toppings on the pizza, Dave.
Absolutely. I just kind of felt like they had their dudes. There are a few players. Take one with a little more upside. It'll be interesting to see who you pair Jamie with here. But they tried something last year. Max, Jimmy, it just did not work. So scrapped it, got a reliable captain. Hunter Johnson, you got the singles and some doubles upside in there, and oh my.
Mari Humberg is the pick for the Chicago Slice. Back-to-back, 2 on-the-rise females, Jamie Way and Mari Humberg. Humberg, of course, spent most of the last 2 years on the New Jersey Fives, got some great reps with Annalie Waters, and she's had some great results, some nice runs, especially in mixed early in 2026.
Yeah, this is a fascinating pick for me. Love Mari. Obviously, I jokingly texted her the other day and I said, hey, what's happening, singles specialist? Made it to the quarterfinals, beat Caitlin Christian on the way there. KK is money in singles, so that is huge. My only question on this one is I really like Jamie on the left from what I have seen with her playing with Elise Jones. The Tui is nasty. You have Mari Humberg, who is almost wildly different left to right, loves playing the left, loves having a left-handed mixed doubles partner. So 2 very talented ladies, one with upside, one that has been there, has been in the cauldron with Annalie Waters. I just want to see how they work out, who's on the right side from the women's doubles perspective.
That is going to be a fun team to watch regardless. Chicago, so they're finished for part 1 of the draft. They have their 4 starters back-to-back. Bidding already in progress for pick number 7.
All ladies too, Will. I mean, 0 dudes. Dylan's still there, Jack's still there, Tyson's still there, the youngsters if you want to get after any of that. But as we mentioned, we had the never-ending bidding, and now we are going much faster, and the Flash are nowhere to be found.
It's a great point. We haven't even said their name in the last few picks. They were there around for the first pick, the second, went after the third and fourth as well, but I mean, you have to feel like maybe something happened where their whole plan just fell apart, right?
Well,
we wanted to get Georgia.
It's
we
not
didn't
up for
get
debate.
it. Back to the drawing board.
We were panhandling, jokingly, but they knew, and there will be ramifications of that down the road. I am certain. What they are, I don't know, but I am seeing, Will, this is exciting, the very first appearance of our new team, the Palm Beach Royals, entering the fray. Now, they do need a guy. So if this is battling it out for one of the fellas that we just talked about, that would be interesting because they've gotten to just sit back and watch the show. They already have Sophia Seving. Welcome to Major League Pickleball. Terrific player. If you haven't watched her play, you're going to love watching her. Good across the discipline. So you get a singles player as well with her, and then the great Tina Pisnik. So Seving and Pisnik is a very good women's team to just roll out of expansion with. They made a trade for Deckel Bar. So if they get something done with one of those top couple, and maybe Dylan specifically, to put him on the right with Deckel Bar, my goodness, that's a team that's right in that top tier mix for me.
And we're climbing once again, 140K back over 100K for the bids.
And this is the part that just ticks you off as a general manager and as an owner, because Jamie Way, and it has nothing to do with her, but that selection went for 75. Now Palm Beach is like, well, we kind of knew that was women, but that's irrelevant. It's just holding the pick. You could have gotten 80, Dylan out the door. Whew, just sit back and watch until you build your 5th and 6th players in here. So this is going to be something. The other thing that's interesting for me in this one is we've talked about Deckel Bar went there. Oh, Brooklyn then, of course, needs a fella. So where you at, Brooklyn? Maybe they're going to come visit us here, because if you want one of those dynamic fellas at the top, now would be the time to do it. Yes. So this will be interesting. And they have Riley Newman sitting there with 2 very good females, Rachel Rohrabacher and Jackie Kawamoto. So Oh, okay, 170.
Bid has been secured at $170,000, and it goes to the Brooklyn pickleball team. Just like you said, Dave. Honestly thought we were going to see Palm Beach there. They were in the running, but Brooklyn, so they have to select a guy with this pick.
So the run of females, it's sort of like we had a run of cornerbacks or offensive tackles in the NFL. Very different here, obviously. And again, just to remind everybody, thanks for being with us, of course. If you jumped in the middle, part one of this is you are filling out your starting lineup, 2 men and 2 women. So you cannot, even if you have the cash and want to make a very talented 5th and 6th player, you can. I can't wait to see it. I mean, we know who's at the top of our board.
The pick is in for Brooklyn, and for both of our boards, the top guy was Dylan Frazier, and that's who gets picked. He's going up north to Brooklyn. He'll join forces with Riley Newman in men's. That's going to be a lot of fun to watch.
Yeah, and it's interesting for me, Riley, throughout his entire career, has been very malleable. We can put him on the right, we can put him on the left. I have heard that he's going to play more right just from watching and calling his matches with the youngster Will McKinnon, another kid. You're going to get picked today, young Will. Just be patient, brother. I guarantee it. But back to the left here. Dylan, we saw briefly on the left, obviously plays very well in mixed doubles. But look at this team, and don't sleep on Brooklyn, and don't sleep on Dylan Frazier's singles either. So I would expect these bench players to be a singles specialist on both the male and female side. We know that Jackie and Rachel can play a solid, very solid 4 points, as can Riley Newman, but I would sure love to throw out someone like, and let's give a shout out to our guy, Grayson Golden, who has been struggling, had the strokes. Hey, our whole army's behind you, brother. And what do? You got down on a knee this week, so congrats. He and Hannah Blatt already secured here as a MLP player, and
for Brooklyn
as well. So why not make that happen there? So they already have her there. So excuse me, on the women's side of things, they're going to get a single specialist. Hey, the couple, Grayson says he's going to be fine. Why not?
And as far as, you think of Brooklyn, they did struggle in Dream Breakers in 2025. They were a great team, made the playoffs, but was not one of their strong suits. Dylan Frazier, especially if they get another singles specialist, will certainly help that cause. Bids are already underway for pick number 8, but we'll do a quick run-through of the picks we've seen so far, because it has been a while. First off, it was a dogfight to the finish, but the St. Louis Shock win it to get Anna Bright. They outbid the New Jersey Fives. Pick 2, New Jersey's Revenge. They outbid the Dallas Flash to get Georgia Johnson.
I have news.
Oh, no.
We've already got pick number 8 secured. So the bidding, as we expected, is going to be hot and heavy. We got through the women, through the first 7, and now we are seeing, and look at this. So up, down, we're sort of like an EKG here, and very interesting for Brooklyn. They were allowed to bring 3 women into this last one, and look who it is.
The Orlando Squeeze.
How about that?
So we haven't really said their name at all in terms of the bids, but they come from out of the woodwork, and so they have 2 women, Lacey Schneeman and Millie Rain.
Yes.
They want a guy to play next to Federico Staxrud.
How about that? And look at who it is.
Jack Sock.
All right.
The tennis Olympian, former world number 2 in doubles. And this is going to work on so many levels.
Yes.
You think of mixed, him and Lacey Schneeman played so well.
Yes.
And Mesa beat the Johnsons. Him and Fed is just athletically inclined to the max.
I think he's going to be excited. I think Squeeze Nation, you have the best mascot in all of Major League Pickleball, that's for sure. But as we talked about, okay, Dream Breaker, Jack and Fed to start that?
Oh my gosh.
Okay, yeah, good luck there. Millie and Lacey are a couple ladies who have variability in their game, but when it's good, it is very good. So they're going to beat some of the best women's teams and lose to a couple that you're like, how did that happen? But we already know that we have the Jack Lacey thing working. They're playing next week in Newport as well. So we've seen good things. So now, run of women, couple of the fellas in here, and I said this before. Yo, Flash, where are you at? They expected to be high-fiving. We got the Johnsons back now. I can't wait to talk about, and this was one of my storylines for next week's Newport PPA event. There's ramifications of this. When Georgia sees Annalie Waters now, what's up, teammate? What's up, 5? What? That's what just happened here.
As we see our best available women now back. Callie Smith, Megan Izombo still on the board. Kaylin Campbell as well, who had some very promising results with the SoCal Hard Eights last year, has had some very good PPA results as well.
And just to be clear, Jamie Way has been picked, and our graphics team working diligently here, so we'll get that updated for sure. So we haven't heard from Dallas in forever. We're on pick number 9 here. Phoenix has jumped in a few times, interestingly, still looking at things. What's Utah doing? Palm Beach has lost the last 2 guys, so their dream of Deckel and Dylan, or Deckel and Jack, I would not have recommended. That's 2 guys that really want to play the left. That's big guys. And that's the other part of this, that the fit within your team. So that was my opportunity for the slice with their choices, which was, hey, Jamie and Mari, go figure it out. For Brooklyn, they chose to keep 3 ladies. Hannah Blatt's going to have to pick up the singles for them because they have Rachel and Jackie, potentially, or they play the starters. We'll see. So they took some flexibility away by having all 3 of them there. And now we've heard from SoCal, but it got over their budget. I'm told California is the one with the 100K bid here, because when you're starting from scratch or just have 1 player, it sure is nice for your fan base to put a well-known party into the middle of this. And in this case, there are still some big names. The biggest name of all that is available right now is, of course, Tyson McGuffin from a brand.
For sure.
Tattoos, still playing solid, but not that left side dominant guy. Certainly has singles chops, doesn't play as well, has slid all the way to the 36th seed coming up.
Goodness.
So yes, he's not playing as much singles, therefore you don't have the points to back that up. So I'm fascinated from this start because of what we knew there would be someone when the carousel stops. Not everybody got who they wanted, and unfortunately, Flash Mob, as of right now, that's you. And I think they're stunned by this. And I just want to see, when are we going to get a surprise team come in here and grab a bid? The bids aren't crazy now. They're within reason.
Hovering right around that 100K benchmark.
Yeah, and back to the slice for winning the $75K for pick 5. We've seen everything since then above that. So nice. And here we go again.
Bid secured at $125,000 goes to the Utah Black Diamonds. They're getting involved, and they have to select a guy to play alongside Connor Garnett. They already have Elise Jones and Etta Tuionatoa from last season. So who's gonna play with Connor Garnett? Tui Nation.
Tui Nation. It's time for a kid for me.
Okay.
Cam Chafin. Yep. Tama. Go deeper. We talked about McKinnon earlier. I think he will get drafted, but it's going to be a little later for me. But this is, again, you have veterans galore on this team already. Etta Tuionatoa, Elise Jones, Connor Garnett. Do you want to kind of build something for the future with around 3 very talented players and pick some upside? We'll see.
It looks like the pick is in for Utah. Again, this one has to be a male. spending over $100,000 for that one, $125. It is Tama Shimabukuro, the 15-year-old first junior to be selected in Major League Pickleball.
Congratulations.
I mean, that is a huge accomplishment. We saw him in action on the junior MLP team at the MLP Cup. They certainly showed out, all 4 of them. But, I mean, this is huge opportunity for Tama and for Utah as well.
Oh, I love this because here's what you get. Garnett, solid as can be. Learn from the great Elise Jones over there about what it takes to win. You want to talk about somebody that is used to working with juniors. She has a whole crew of the Utah folks there. They're building a facility, so you're going to have that next year for Utah. You have 2 Utah players, Garnett and the kid, the skateboarder from Hawaii, but do not sleep on this youngster at all because what he has been able to do is get some results with a variety of partners. He and Yuta played very well together. This is the opportunity we have seen, and this is why Major League Pickleball is so fascinating to me, is you get opportunities that you may not get on the Carvana PPA Tour because you're on this team. He's playing with Connor Garnett now. That's spectacular for Tama. What a humble young kid. He's got so much swag without trying. It just is. The hat, there's the chain comes out. The Tui is beautiful. That's a fun pick for Utah.
And we already have our next bid secured for the 10th pick, $85,000 there. And we will see who the team is. I mean, yeah, Tama was one of our top junior guys. And next, Phoenix Flames getting involved. They've been kind of in the woodwork so far. They finally get their pick, and they can go anywhere with this.
Correct.
Only Jesse Irvin is returning from 2025, so they can go female. They have to get 2 males, so they have the world is their oyster.
The world
as
is.
We look here at pick
We've
10.
had a run of fellas now, like we haven't seen. We've talked about Megan Dazan. Still available out there. On the other side, we've talked about Tyson, Jonathan Trung still there. That's a player we are both very high on. So it'll be interesting to see which way. They've been all over the place, let's be honest. I doubt it's Tyson. They just had him, so it's probably not that. So what's it going to be here?
The pick is in for Phoenix. Right. Jonathan Trung, the 18-year-old on the Bay Area Breakers in 2025. I mean, he was in our top 4 guys coming into the draft. Really like what we've seen from him, and it's a new era for Phoenix. They were kind of team tennis last year. Jack Stock, Jeannie Bouchard, Jesse Irvin, of course, had that tennis background as well. But starting anew and love this pick, especially at the price point, Dave.
Oh, yeah, and the upside of this young man. The hands are magic. So 10 in. What a start here.
We are 10 in. Moving on at a great pace after a very slow start for the first pick. We are going to step aside, take a quick break, and give you a breakdown of the schedule in this video. Stay with us. We'll be right back from the 2026 Major League Pickleball Draft presented by Skechers.
Here's everywhere Major League Pickleball is going in 2026 and why it matters. We open Memorial Day weekend in Dallas, the home of the 2024 champions, and the first of 9 regular season stops. From there, the league moves city to city. Columbus, St. Louis, Austin, St. Pete, and New York City. Each stop is a 4-day stretch of team battles, momentum swings, and standings that can flip in a single weekend. In July, the mid-season tournament returns to Grand Rapids, a full knockout bracket and one of the most intense weeks of the year. From there, MLP heads to Newport Beach and Chicago before the final regular season stop is held at ESPN Wide World of Sports at Walt Disney World Resort. And then, it's playoff time. Extended across 3 pivotal weekends, Dallas, San Diego, and back to Central Park in New York for the finals. 9 cities, 1 mid-season tournament, a coast-to-coast run that sets the stage for the most intense championship push MLP has ever had. Save this, share this, and follow for the full 2026 details.
Welcome back to the 2026 Major League Pickleball Draft. I'm Will Daughton, he is Dave Fleming, and we are rolling right along here on the MLP YouTube. Thanks so much for being with us on a Friday. Dave said it earlier, it's Christmas Day for pickleball. It certainly feels like a celebration.
However,
oh no.
The Grinch has visited this very city as Dallas still doesn't have a replacement for Georgia 10 picks in. But yes, a fascinating start to the day here. I love it.
Like I said, 10 picks into the draft, and we are getting right underway with pick number 11. Bidding is in progress. Our final pick that we saw before the break, Jonathan Strong, going to the Phoenix Flames. Again, I said it earlier, I love this for them. You see some best available men. Some other young guns. Cam Chafin, of course, had some awesome results in Minnesota. Beat Federico Staksrud in singles. John Lucian Goins, he's not, he's 18, 19 years old as well. I mean, he known more for the singles, but he can add some value as well.
Yeah, that board is hilarious for me because 2 veterans and AJ Kohler. General managers, how many times does he need to come through in Major League Pickleball? So he will get picked at some point. Will it be as a air quotes starter? You can still bring him in and play him as much as you wanted. And the 2 youngsters there. And let me tell you again about just cool and calm. Cam Chafin is that. That is a player, much like Tama with Utah. Kudos to them. Cam is a guy that I would love to build around. If I have a veteran they're going to have Garnett and Elise Jones for Tom. I can't imagine anything better there. Getting Cam into a situation like that. And then on the ladies' side, kind of the same thing. The wild card there in a name that you may not be as familiar with is Daria Walczak, who is a terrific player, just joined the PPA, destroys Tuohy's. One of the taller ladies, has singles potential upside, hasn't played the best players consistently, so you are betting on what I hope and think will happen. Young Kaylin Campbell got tons of experience with the Hard Eights last year, so do the Hard Eights, who have 0 players, want to bring her back? They could bring both the youngster back. Jelena Ingram probably just right around this range of available players. So, and what we have going on in the draft room right now, which is fascinating, is SoCal and California, who are 2 teams that some of the pundits out there said, oh, they're going to just bid hardly anything. Well, that is not the case. And what I am told is perhaps after me calling them out and saying that the Grinch showed up here in DFW, the Flash are finally back in and bidding. So is Megan Dazan what you want to do with Tyra? Still a very good team. Not the same, not the buoyant, big personality of Georgia, but played really well next to Annalee Waters last year. I had the great privilege of having her on my Seattle Pioneers team. Won twice with Megan. She was so clutch for that team. So not saying that's what's going to happen, but I'm looking at that. So is it one of the teams without any players?
Right.
Or did Dallas just say enough is enough, let's go get a known commodity here?
And we do have our bid secured for pick 11, $85,000. It's going to the SoCal Hard Eights. They're going to get on the board. The world is their oyster. They can pick whoever they want.
They sure
Female,
can.
male, whatever they want to do.
Roll the dice. Okay, so I had expected them to show up here with a little bit of a budget, and here they go. Now, where do they go? Do they go with the male? Do they go with the female? What do you want to sort of anchor your team around? I'm certain they're going to want to try and get one of the younger players at some point, because let's be honest, you have to decide where you are in the world.
Right.
And we know how top heavy the teams that we've spoken about are. What do you want to do? Do you want to get experience and make your way there? So here we go.
We get Megan Dazan for the SoCal Hard Eights. Not really going for the youngsters. They go Megan Dazan, veteran of the sport. You've talked about how big of a role she's played in your championship runs. So Megan Dazan, going out to California.
And this is, when you get somebody who has won, I don't care what sport it is, that's different. That's memorable. That's you have faced something, and you got to be in the dog pile and hold up a trophy at the end, and Megan has done that. All the pressure in the world as we see some highlights of her playing with Annalee Waters. That right there is one of the most cauldron, hot, fire. Everyone's eyes are on you. If you win, it's because of Anna Lee. If you lose, it's because of you. That isn't fair, but that's the reality of sports and team sports specifically. So kudos to SoCal. So they did get, it was one or the other. We're going to get a vet. That's just so hilarious.
I love the graphic.
That's it. We're not missing information there.
Nope.
That is all they have. So the fact that they said, hey, one of the top ladies is still out there at pick number 11. Let's make this happen, and kudos to them. Now what happens around it?
And to get her for under 100K too,
Yeah,
I think that
fabulous.
that is certainly a steal because her keeper cost was 150K for the New Jersey Fives.
And explain what you mean by that.
So to keep Megan Dazan, who was on the New Jersey Fives last year, New Jersey would have had to pay half of what it cost to draft her in 2024, which was $300,000 or draft points. Now you take half of that, it's $150. And so that's where that keeper cost comes into. Her keeper cost did not change at all because she never hit the waivers. She was just traded from, she was on Carolina, Columbus, a few, Orlando for a while, a few different teams. So that's where that 150K number comes from for Megan Dazan.
Okay, so now what, Dallas?
Right.
Literally, now what?
And we knew that they were in it, right? They were in it. They were right around that 85 number.
Yes.
And so, it's not like they've lost any money right now because their bids didn't go through, right? For Georgia.
They haven't lost money,
No,
but
right.
they have lost talent.
Right.
So now you can see there's a couple of the youngsters, the hard eights from last year, but you have Callie Smith, a veteran, who you know what you got there. Are you going to try with her, or are you going to take a youngster or are you going to take two youngsters, one now and then wait till we get through everything? And we finally have another bid in here. And again, now we're not sure boys or girls. Well, now we are.
$65,000. Pick 12 goes to the Palm Beach Royals. They need a guy. And so, I mean, this is a huge opportunity for them.
Yes, and they need a right side guy for me.
Okay.
Let Big D, Deckel Bar, get things done on the left. Get some reliability. I don't think this is a kid. They're coming in Tina Pisnik, Sophia Seving, Deckel Bar. Like, let's go try and win this thing and do some damage.
And we do have that pick in Tyson McGuffin, certainly not a kid, the tour veteran, a titan of the sport. He is the newest member of the Palm Beach Royals. He's going to join forces with Tina Pisnik, Sophia Seving, and Deckel Bar. And for men specifically, Dave, I really like this. Deckel and Tyson have made multiple Carvana Championship Sundays on the PPA Tour, have had some battles with Ben and Colin Johns back when they were in their heyday.
Sure.
And both Tyson and Deckel have experience playing mixed with Tina Pisnik.
Yeah, and from scratch to that right there that you see on your screen, welcome, Palm Beach, and can't wait to see Sophia. Sophia played a little bit on the Carvana PPA Tour and was a player that I was like, hey, this lady is something else. Huge tennis chops behind that. She will play MLP this year and then a full slate, sort of like Will Howes, of Carvana PPA Tour in 2027, but all about the Royals. So, ironically, neither of the fellas, with all of the talent down there in the Palm Beach, South Florida, neither of those fellas are actually from there. But hey, at some point, our sport will work that way. It doesn't work that way now. So, fellas galore right now, other than the Megan Dazan jumping in there.
And it's an interesting trend, right? The first, I want to say the first six picks were all females. Then we had about 3 or 4 straight guys.
Yeah.
Now we're kind of going back to flip-flop. And this is where you get into that idea of, hey, what does each team need?
Yes.
Right? And what risks can I take knowing who I'm bidding against? Right?
100%.
Oh, I know this team, they're only going to draft a female. I know this team's only going to draft a guy. I know who I'm targeting, and I know what I'm willing to spend. I can just worry about myself.
You can, and for me now, if you love one of the kids, if you're like, Cam Chafin is going to be it for me, and I would be pounding the desk right now saying, hey, for less than 100K, I can get this youngster for 3 years. one of the most humble, just talented, works hard. I would be telling my owner, we're at pick 13. It's not out of control. Let me go find one of the kids. So that's where I would be at right now if I was in the bidding process.
And it looks like we're closing in on a winning bid for pick number 13, secured at $65,000. That's where we're staying, at least for the next 2 picks. Goes to the SoCal Hard Eights. They're remaining busy here in the middle stages, Dave.
Yeah, so anyone that thought, they dumped their team and they're just going to kind of hang out, not the case. Do they go get one of the youngsters that they weren't allowed to keep? So they really liked their kids, but they weren't allowed to keep them due to the rules. Don't worry about that. The question is, do they go get one?
Well, we're going to find out. The pick is in for SoCal. Just saw them get Megan Dazan. Now they go and get Kaylin Campbell, 15 years old. They're running it back after 2025.
Love this for them. They had such a good experience with her. This is a talented youngster. And the difference between her and some of the other teenagers is she's got real world reps in the cauldron that is Major League Pickleball against the best players. The only thing she won't have is Blaine Hovenier screaming in her ear, because he will be screaming if they're playing Las Vegas. But I love this. So again, how do the players fit together? Megan Dazan can play a very solid left. Kaylin Campbell likes the right over there. I think that's really nice. So great start for the Hard Eights. Got to get a couple fellas. Again, will they go young? Will they go older? Will they get a combination? They got the combination with the females, which is interesting. But as far as 2 players fitting together, I think that's really nice.
I could actually certainly see them going AJ Kohler and maybe a youngster. AJ and Megan played well together.
Indeed. And the other thing is, where is upside in the men's? There's youngsters. There's a few international players that we've seen a little bit of. And now look at prices.
We're a long way from 1.2.
We're slashing prices throughout the store, baby.
We're a long way from 1.23 million.
They did it again.
And we get, oh my gosh, SoCal back-to-back. Wow, they want to be out of here.
They told me they were going to be active, but
my gosh,
back-to-back picks. I can't wait to see. Obviously, it's got to be a dude. Do they get youngster? Do they get someone they're feeling that has some upside that maybe we haven't seen as much? Do they get a known commodity? They've shown us 2 of those 3 routes with Kaylin and Megan, but they're not messing around here.
No, they're playing the game. They're playing the game. And
roll
we
the
have
dice.
The pick in for SoCal. The second time we've seen a team go back-to-back. Saw it Furley with the Chicago Slice. Now SoCal gets Armand Bhatia, their first male. This is going to be his first MLP season in the U.S. for Armand. He's been having some really strong showings on the Carvana PPA Tour here early in 2026.
Yeah, and this is like we talked about Danny L. Townsend coming in here. Jamie Way, to a degree, she played MLP Asia and got that experience. Now we have Armand, who has shown us that he can really be a factor. Big dude, has some really nice hands, aggressive player. You got to learn not just the pace of play and the really good tendencies. You got to learn, what do these players do well and what don't they, and what are they going to learn about you? So this is where the coach, the general manager, the team together, that's the thing that is the most challenging for me, as have Megan, Kaylin, and Armand ever even talk to each other. So Adam Stone, my buddy, my colleague in the booth, is the coach over there. That's part of it. And it is joyous to be able to call a player and tell them, I'm sure Armand is thrilled. That is a great organization. They invest in the team. They travel well. I'm excited for them.
So that is pick number 14, Armand Bhatia, joining SoCal. Pick number 15, bids are currently in progress. It looks like we're going to be ready to have a final bid for this 15th, secured at $45,000 for pick number 15.
And you love if the pick before you was lower. if you were the lower team.
You do love that. And the California Black Bears, loving what they're seeing. They were active early and often in a few of the earlier picks. They finally get one to go their way. And right now they only have Lane Sleeth on their roster, so they can do what they want with their pick.
Anything. Again, these are where I have the same, we'll have this discussion literally until pick 28. Do you want a youngster that has upside? Do you want to get that veteran? And we saw the hard eights just a minute ago go Megan, boom, youngster Kalen. Love it. What is going to happen here? You're going to go farther off the board and pick someone that is less expected, and there we go.
And we get it here. Kiora Kunimoto going to the California Black Bears. She has been on a tear recently, especially on the singles courts. Has beat Catherine Parento in Mesa. I mean, just in this is what you see, right? You're betting on the future of Kiora Kunimoto, and that is such a safe bet based off of what we've seen early in 2026.
Yeah, so the wager here, to stay in your betting parlance, is okay, how's the doubles? Because you're going to have, we'll see where this team nets out as far as who the partner is for her. Lots of rumors out there about what is happening with what player and so forth. But can the doubles work? Who's your mixed doubles partner and female partner going to be? And what's the organization going to do to build up a young player? So I think that's very important. Our guy Eric Tice out there got the opportunity. I'm thrilled for him, as we mentioned earlier. You have to build a team that works together. SoCal's got 3 very unique personalities already just from a amount of time spent with each other. Kaylin already knows that hard eights way there. Armand and Megan will learn it. California's got to build their new brand and what it matters. So I love now that we're not surprisingly seeing it. But Dallas, is your internet connection broken? Where are you? I mean, 3 studs and now nothing.
And now to pick number 16, Phoenix back in the fray, $35K for that bid. So, now we're seeing teams who had a lot of work to do, either only had 1 player on their roster before today or 0. Now they're starting to fill those out. Again, we're going to be with you for 28 picks. For part 1 of the draft. You'll be able to follow along those other picks on the MLP website and their social media as well. But again, Phoenix can go
anywhere
they want.
They got Jonathan Trung, which was one of our favorite picks so far. So what is going to go with it? And do you double down with the kids?
I mean,
and Trung's already shown us something. Plus, you have Jesse Irvin, a great teacher of the game right there. So I'd love, and Jesse and I are going to be on another show breaking all this down that will air Sunday at noon Eastern. So look at that. So we'll be able to get her perspective on who they take. But who is this going to be to go with Trung, to go with Jesse? This is a team and an organization that's been kind of all over the place here recently. They even changed their name. Like, what in the world? They wanted to be the Phoenix Flames. They're not the Drive, but, in fact, this kid can't even drive.
Cam Chafin, the 14-year-old Team Juniors, plus Jesse Irvin.
Yeah, and again, the upside of their men. Now, Jonathan Trung and Camden, maybe they've played some rec together, but if you get to keep everyone up to your choice, 3 years, so you have 14 and 18 here, so you have prime time. Jonathan Trung has looked great. And what's interesting about Cam Chafin, for everyone that hasn't seen, this is not like some flashy kid. He has all the shots, but he is a patient player, like drops the ball, plays a pretty old school style that Jesse will love to see as far as consistently getting to the kitchen, understanding how to play the game of pickleball. And Jonathan Trung has hands for days. So fun team to keep our eye on here. Nice job, Phoenix.
Fun team. And you talk about Jesse Irvin, right? I don't want to overstate how beneficial it is going to be for Trong and Chafin
100%.
to have her on that roster, because she has been able to remain near the top of the women's game through the monumental changes that the sport has gone through over the past 2, 3, 4 years. And just to have that insight is going to be so valuable. I love what Phoenix has done with their 2 guys so far.
Yeah, and I think as we hear from the break room that they're going to take a little break over there in the draft room. So if you didn't see us before, I love that. Can I ask for the schedule video? Is that okay, Will? May I ask for the schedule video?
I'll allow it.
Okay.
We'll get you a video, send you that way to look at what we have, what these picks mean, right, for the rest of the season, what we're playing for, where MLP is going to be in 2026. That video coming at you in just a moment.
Here's everywhere Major League Pickleball is going in 2026 and why it matters. We open Memorial Day weekend in Dallas, the home of the 2024 champions, and the first of 9 regular season stops. From there, the league moves city to city. Columbus, St. Louis, Austin, St. Pete, and New York City. Each stop is a 4-day stretch of team battles, momentum swings, and standings that can flip in a single weekend. In July, the mid-season tournament returns to Grand Rapids, a full knockout bracket and one of the most intense weeks of the year. From there, MLP heads to Newport Beach and Chicago before the final regular season stop is held at ESPN Wide World of Sports at Walt Disney World Resort. And then, it's playoff time. Extended across 3 pivotal weekends, Dallas, San Diego, and back to Central Park in New York for the finals. 9 cities, 1 mid-season tournament, a coast-to-coast run that sets the stage for the most intense championship push MLP has ever had. Save this, share this, and follow for the full 2026 details.
Well, if you're not excited to continue with the draft after watching that, I don't know what more we can show you. I am amped looking at that. MLP is going to be awesome in 2026. It already is with this draft.
Yes.
I'm Will Daughton, hanging out with Dave Fleming, 3-time MLP winning general manager, and we are just thrilled to have you with us, breaking down live reactions to the draft. While we wait on pick 17 on that bidding process to start, we'll take a look at the best available players after we've seen some top talent get taken. Callie Smith somehow still on the board. She has been so solid for so long. Then to see Jeannie Arikina on the list, had an excellent semifinal run with Yuta Castillo and Mesa, beating Rachel Rohrbacher and Catherine Parento. She has a ton of upside after that. I'm a little surprised she's still up there.
Yeah, it comes down to what do you want? I mean, do you want players that are pretty much what they are, which is 2 of the ladies on that screen right there, in Jeannie and Callie. Callie even more decorated of the 2 of those from her incredible career. Or do you want a newcomer in Daria? Do you want a younger player in Jelena? Do you want someone, there are other Aussies out there that you have not really seen? And this is where the fact that you can tinker with your roster, and this is very new this year, so while we have a break in the action in the draft room, so there's nothing going on, you're missing nothing, just to be clear to everybody at home. The idea that you can use your full complement of 6 how you want to is big, because, hey, you might discover that with our team, we need you to only play mixed. Done. Do it. Go do that. So players are going to have to get used to not playing all the disciplines, and it comes back to one of the hardest things for the coaches and general managers is managing the human beings. It is absolutely, any of us that have worked in corporate America, that have lived the cubicle life, you know that. And you also know that if you have a coach and a general manager that you believe in, that goes a long way, because you want to win for them, not for you. That's the big difference with the PPA. The PPA, you're winning for yourself, your family. Here, you're winning. There could be an HR employee that they have. You don't know how big some of these organizations are getting with the minor league pickleball and everything. And the fellas, as we saw on there, interesting, same sort of idea. AJ Kohler's been like the super sub, and then the youngster Will McKinnon is in there as well. And I am told they took the break, and we are back and running. So bidding is in progress.
The graphic is ahead of us. That's amazing.
I appreciate that.
It's locked in. Bidding in progress for pick number 17. And just to kind of piggyback on your point, Dave, about the different roles, right?
Yeah.
You can compare it to pinch hitting in baseball, or kind of a role player in basketball. You're not necessarily going to be asked to play in 3 events for every single MLP match now, which it increases the strategy a lot. We're probably going to see much higher level singles in the Dream Breakers, depending on how those picks turn out. So just the intrigue keeps on increasing, and I love that rule. When I heard about it, when it was first announced, was just thrilled to have it.
Because I love strategy.
Of course.
So when, could somebody just jump in right now? I've had this talk, so I'm happy to share it live. Chris Hayworth wants to and will get better at doubles. It's not been there yet. Would you just jump in there and take him soon and say, guess what? I get that he's the 3 seed next week. He's playing like the 1 seed, even if he is the 3 seed. Okay. Hunter, Fed, you've got Chris Hayworth on your team, and you have a monster to lead your Dream Breaker every time. Maybe that is worth jumping in, and then you get your 5th player later that is a doubles specialist. So there's different ways to go out and get things done.
And we have our bid secured for pick 7 seed, $40,000. The SoCal Hard Eights. They are going to round out their roster.
I know they love kids. I know they got one. They got Armand.
Yep.
They need a dude. There's some good kids out there. There's also, if they want to vet it up a little bit, there's that. But with where they're at and the team they're building, I'd be surprised if it's a more known commodity from the fellas. But we'll see. But my intelligence here, I think, is fairly good. I'll just leave it at that.
Well, I certainly trust your intelligence when it comes to pickleball and the Steelers. We'll go with that as well.
Thank you. Okay.
The pick for SoCal, Will McKinnon, 17 years old, making his MLP debut for the SoCal Hard Eights. Right, you're right on it, Dave.
So here's the thing that's interesting about McKinnon so far, and look at this: from 0 players, and I'm making fun of my guy Adam on the air, to a very nice team. Look at this. Upside with Kalen and Will. Armand has tons of potential. I like what I've seen from him. I've won with Megan Dazan. I know what she can do. They take care of their team as well as anybody. They are really interesting here. McKinnon has gotten a lot of attention, and I want to stand up for Will for a minute here. Thrown into men's doubles with Riley Newman. And this is a kid, if you're unfamiliar with McKinnon, born on Bainbridge Island, yes, where pickleball was founded. I mean, so pickleball in the blood from literally day one of his life. He's made some errors on center. They haven't had the big run, Riley and Will, that we thought we might see. I am a big believer in how do you deal with adversity. In fact, a lot of my selections that I took were not just upside, but having watched players deal with adversity. McKinnon's having a little bit of that adversity here. I love that pick for them. In that team, in that environment, I think that's a great place for McKinnon.
It's only going to get him more reps in MLP as well. That's going to lead to more confidence on the Carvana PPA Tour as well. Bid secured at $35,000 for pick 18. Goes to the Bay Area
Welcome to
Breakers.
the party.
Welcome to the party. We've seen California get involved, SoCal. Now it's Bay Area. Right now they're rocking with Pablo Tejas and Maya Bowie. So they can get either a guy or a gal for their 3rd member.
Yeah, and I think this feels like upside kind of player. Lots of new people lately. Maybe they'll surprise us. You obviously have Pablo, the lefty, so can you get somebody that you believe in on the left side to play with Pablo? Pablo just won a challenger title with the Owls, so that I put a lot of value into, that he's had that opportunity, so this will be interesting.
We'll see who the Breakers get. It is Len Yang. He's making his MLP debut, newly signed in 2026, and he had a nice run to the round of 16 in men's doubles just last week in Mesa, Dave.
He did. So this is a kid that I've enjoyed watching, met him for the first time last week. Again, we have seen players come from a lot of places. We've seen players get notoriety in different ways. This is a fascinating team. Maya Bowie is like the frame of a player that, because everybody asks me, what is it going to take to beat Anna Leigh Waters? Maya Bowie, she's taller than Anna Leigh. She moves great. So you got to get the skill set to go with it, and Maya certainly knows that she has opportunities to improve in that area. So this is Len and Maya. Where's the upside? Pablo, we know what we get from him as a lefty. That's a nice guy to build around. So intrigued, and I'm going to keep saying it because I am stunned. I would really like to reset the router at Dallas headquarters. What is happening? This is a team that won it, that thought they were going to win it last year, that won 1 billion matches in a row, that came in here today thinking they were going to run it back, didn't, and now we are into pick 19, and they have not finished out that second starter female. So that's the most stunning thing for me right now.
And well, they're going to have to once
Yes.
if we get
Yeah.
to 20. Well, you asked for them many times, many picks ago. Here they are. They answer the phone.
Here they are.
They answer the phone.
Here they are. So which route do they go? I mean, I can't imagine this being a kid. Like, you have J-Dub, you have Tyra, you got Augie. Like, doesn't this have to be one of the veteran ladies, doesn't it?
You would have to think so.
I mean, there's no way you take a kid here because you think you're one of the best teams. Now, no matter who this is, it's not Georgia. So,
yes.
And here we go.
Pick is in. Callie Smith, veteran, like you said, was on the Chicago Slice last year. Now going down to D-Town, she will partner with Tyra Black in women's, playing alongside J.W. Johnson and Augie Guh in mixed doubles, excuse me. Interesting pick, and I think the price that they got for Callie is very, very good. I think she is a very high-quality player, sometimes maybe overlooked, but I think for the state that Dallas was in, you're not, you put your heart on the line for the first few picks, didn't end up going your way. I think this is a strong position to be in for them.
I just think and Callie has a lovely resume, and the fact that screen, I think that screen, and just Callie can be a nameless gray face for a minute. The fact that is not Georgia Johnson on there is a really tough thing to swallow. For all of Callie's skill set, it is not Georgia. This team has fallen down for me from where they started before they had to draft. Now, can they get this worked out? Callie play the right. Tyra is playing unbelievable. J-Dub and Augie, I would absolutely recommend singles specialists to round out a team that has players that don't play a lot of singles. There certainly Augie and J-Dub do, not a lot. Callie doesn't play singles ever, neither does Tyra. So if you get J-Dub winning his 2 matches, which he's more than capable of.
100%.
Who's playing with Tyra? That's a whole other thing. Do you want to keep Tyra on the left and play her with Augie? And it's fascinating to see. Do you keep that together and but you put Callie next to J-Dub instead of Georgia, it's a different situation.
Well, Dallas does have their 4 starters now, so we won't see them again until part 2 of the draft. Pick 20, bid secured at $45,000. And look, we're getting to the teams. Only a few teams still have to make picks here. And the Atlanta Bouncers joining the fray.
Welcome
to the party,
yes,
guys.
Welcome.
Welcome to the party. This team was very busy in the offseason, made some trades, now rocking with Caitlin Christian, Jay DeVilliers, and Jaume Martinez-Vick. And the pick is in. Who will be their 4th starter? We will find out in just a moment for the Bouncers. Narrowly missed out on the playoffs in 2025, looking to kind of rewrite that script.
Yeah, and the key for me here is the health of Jaume Martinez-Vick. And I talked to him in Mesa, coming around. And okay, here's a lady we talked about earlier.
Daria Walchak. We have not seen her in a ton of matches recently on the Carvana PPA Tour, but you said it yourself earlier, you liked what you have seen from her.
I do, and I think, again, playing with good players, being around good players, no one works harder than Caitlin Christian. So that is a great comment. That's 2 athletic ladies. It'll be interesting to see how they put that together, because Caitlin's actually started to have some very nice doubles results on the women's side as well. Jaume and Jay can be fantastic if you have healthy Jaume. he is not 100% healthy quite yet. So I love where we're at here. You know what else I love? I love looking deeper into like, who could a sleeper be here? Who could we have that could jump in there and make something happen from that standpoint? So that's something that we will look at some point as well. But it's exciting to see what's going on here.
So we're going to look at sleepers when we return. We have an explainer video for you guys. Hey, what is MLP? Why are we doing all this? What's the fuss? We'll have that for you out of the break.
Major League Pickleball, the ultimate team competition and one epic journey to the hardest trophy to win in pro pickleball. The 2026 season takes 20 teams across the country, 9 regular season stops, and the mid-season tournament, each one a battle for standings points on the road to 3 weeks of playoffs. At each event, teams battle through group play Thursday to Saturday, facing off in high-stakes matchups. Matches on Super Sunday determine where each team finishes for the event and how many standings points they are taking home. Midway through the season, every team fights for bonus points in the high-stakes mid-season tournament, where champions gain an extra edge in the playoff race and a chance to win $100 grand. Then it all comes down to the playoffs, a best-of-3 series format where the top 12 teams battle through multiple rounds. First in Dallas and then quarterfinals in San Diego. The journey ends in New York City, where the best teams face off in Central Park. The winners, they lift the MLP Championship Trophy, cementing their names in MLP history. This is Major League Pickleball. Welcome to the 2026 season.
Welcome back to the 2026 Major League Pickleball Draft presented by Skechers. I'm Will Daughton next to Dave Fleming. We are 20 picks out of 28 that we're doing for this show, and we're getting deeper. You said it before the break. We're going to take a look at some sleepers that we think deserve to be on MLP rosters here for however the draft ends up. Dave, we'll start with you first.
I love the youngsters. I've been very clear on that. Let's start with Emma Nelson. Who else has been up 7-0 against Anna Lee and Ben Johns recently? Nobody but Emma Nelson. Fact. That was the score. I'm not going to tell you the final score because things did turn around, but this is a 15-year-old from Nebraska. I've been on the court with her. I would love to have her as my third female on my team and just let her go after it. She freaking tattooed Anna Lee on the second rally of that match. It was fantastic. And then on the male side, as a godfather of the Tui, Braden Jacobson. This kid has one of the sickest Tuis in all the land. I think there's tremendous upside. Again, given the opportunity to get on a team, learn, practice, go after it, I think he's going to be something special down the road. So that's the thing you got to decide. Do you want a single specialist, or do you want one of these youngsters that might be able to help you next year, and you got them for 3 years? Why not? So those are my two. Let's get to the pick, then we'll get to your sleepers here.
For pick number 21, bid secured at $45,000. And it looks like the Phoenix Flames going to get their fourth team member. This is going to be their third pick of the draft. So looking for someone to play alongside Jessie Irvin in women's doubles, and the pick is in.
I like what this squad has done a lot. So again, youngsters on the male side, Jessie plus what? Another more established player? A kid? Feels like they've got the kids already.
And we get Judith Castillo is the fourth starter for Phoenix. She's playing women's with Jessie Irvin. Should pair very nicely with the two youngsters on the men's team. So you have a really nice mix for Phoenix, Dave. You've got the experience. Judith has played a lot of MLP, has won challenger titles back in the day as well. Fresh off a great semifinal women's doubles run with Jeannie Arikina and Mesa, playing some of her best pickleball as of late as well. Really like the trend that her game is going in, especially in doubles.
What a fun team here. So that's not going to win the title. I hate to say that to you, Phoenix, but it's true. But what a great way to see where the young male players fit. Udit has really shown us some great doubles lately. I'd like to see her singles actually get back to where it was. And Jesse coaching up all of that with the great Phoenix ownership there.
I'm here for it.
We'll see if the clipboard's back this year, or if they chill that out with the two youngsters there. We'll find out. Your sleepers, sir.
My sleeper, starting off with Isabella Dunlap. She's been grinding challengers, actually won a PPA Tour contract at the Challenger Showdown at Worlds, won with Abigail Hatton, who's another player I think definitely deserves to be on a roster. But Dunlap, she nearly had a women's doubles upset in Mesa with Nicole Conard, almost taking down Brooke Buckner and Zoe Wong. It made the semifinals in singles in Daytona Beach. I think the results, the potential is obviously there because she's still relatively new to the sport, but the results are already starting to speak for themselves. That's why I'm so high on Isabella Dunlap. I expect her to be on a roster by the end of the day. I'll get to my second sleeper after pick number 22, where we have the bid secured at $35,000.
Oh, get on your horse.
The Texas Ranchers. So they need one more female to round out their roster. Again, Christian Alshon and Eric Onsens took Leah Jansen earlier. Who's it going to be for their final female?
I mean, everybody was like, what is happening? Because you had very solid females. We love Christian and Eric. There was not the best chemistry for this squad as they were trying to figure out all these moves. Fresh start, new year. Alshon's playing great. Onsen's playing great. What are we going to put with that? I can't wait to find out here.
The pick is in for Texas, and it's Sarah Dennehy, another player from Australia. Here we go. Texas Ranchers going international, and I really, really like this pick. I think it's upside, right? You haven't really seen Dennehy compete in the States a lot, but you have a lot of experience that she's coming into, especially with Leia in women's. Christian Alshon has had a ton of MLP success as well.
Yeah, I can't wait to see who the third female ends up being here as well. So, again, got the veteran in Leia, got a championship pedigree, to be clear, with her. So I love that. And Eric plus Christian plus Leia, and then find some upside to go with that. That is a great that is a team, once I need to get my eyes on where this nets out with the rest of it, and then see Ms. Dennehy play some ball, but they have to be considered in the top quadrant of this for sure.
I'm going to take the opportunity. Oh, maybe I'm not. I promise I'm going to get, Luke, you've probably seen your name on there. I'm going to get to why you're my keeper on the guy's side. Bid secured for pick number 23 at $20,000. We're running out of teams that need to make moves, and the Florida Smash is one of them.
Welcome to the party.
They're going to round out their roster here.
Yes. It's got to be a lady.
It's got to be a lady. Have two guys with Kaysen Campbell and Travis Rettenmeyer. And the pick is in. They knew exactly who they wanted to get. And we'll have the pick for you in just a few moments. Florida.
Just $20K.
Just $20K.
Okay.
Jeannie Bouchard. She was on Phoenix last year.
Yes.
We've seen how great she's been in singles. Doubles is still getting there, but she's going to play alongside Martina Frantova, representing the Sunshine State.
And this was the same potential strategy that we talked about just on the male side with Hayworth. Jeannie's singles is very good. You tell me you beat Kate Fahey last month, I would say that is pretty doggone great. And talk to both players after that. So that is an interesting thing where they are learning, they being the field, know that Jeannie in my section of singles is a problem for me. Where's the doubles? She lives in South Florida. Some of the time she's there. Can we get more? This is obviously a team that's more based on the west side of the great state of Florida. But do they get a doubles player that Martina says, hey, I would like this, and then sort of figure it out, and then Jeannie is absolutely playing the Dream Breakers. So we'll see how they want to go. Please get to my guy Luke there.
For the love of all that is good. We're going to finish this out. Luke Pham, my sleeper on the men's side, had some awesome results in Mesa, beat Dylan Frazier in singles, beat Kaysen Campbell, Florida Smash, in singles, made the quarters in men's with Will McKinnon in Las Vegas. Still, graduated from USC in last May. I think he's young, he's hungry. I really like what I've seen. Super athletic.
Yeah.
Had a close game against J-Dub and CJ in Mesa as well in doubles. I think he should be on a roster by the end of the day.
There you go. I went with the super youngsters, and Isabella Dunlap has impressed me. So we'll see if she gets in there. The singles is very good for her as well. So just a few teams and a few picks left as far as part 1 here.
On pick number 24, bidding is in progress. And like you said, Dave, just 5 more picks to get to 28. Again, this is just the first part of the draft. We're going to cut it at 28, and then the rest of the picks where you'll see teams kind of get their maybe single specialists or their alternates, their bench players, that will be available to track on the MLP website and on MLP social medias. So we're just
and to be clear, it's the same thing.
It is.
Minimum bid's 1,000. We could see one of those picks for not starters actually be higher than wherever we net out here on our coverage. So here we are at 30. We went back up here.
There it is. Bid secured, 30 grand. And it's the California Black Bears have been a little silent for a while. They grabbed Kiora Kunimoto earlier. Now they're back in the ball game, needing to get a male.
Yeah, and lots of routes to go. At this point, as I would sit there, if this was where I was in the draft, you've got 2 names, probably male and female. You have a budget that you're good for this section. If you go over it, fine, and they take one, you have that second person ready. So this is where you really need to be prepared as a general manager to have a ability to zig over here if you're not willing to go over a certain number, but you like 2 players pretty much the same.
And we've got that pick for you for California. It is Chris Hayworth.
Right.
He's going back to the California Black Bears, had some reps over there in 2024. And you look at their roster now. Chris Hayworth and Kiora Kunimoto, singles, Dreambreaker, terror.
Just get there. And guess who will be gripping their pillow tight? The other team. But got to get 2 doubles wins there, and we'll see what happens here. But I like the idea. Chris desperately wants to get better at doubles. The opportunity to play MLP reps are huge. We have seen players shine in that. Blaine Hovenier comes to mind as a player that just 1 game to 11, jump in there, go, get it done, and we'll see how that roster's far from complete there, but how that all comes together. Okay, I like that idea. So there we go.
Now for pick 25, bid secured at $10,000. That's the minimum bid for part 1. Miami Pickleball Club. They are throwing their hat in the ring.
And
South Florida's cooking something.
And I'm giving you credit. You're on to a birdie told us some things, and you are on to this. We're not going to steal the thunder here of what happened, but my guy Will was all over this particular selection that's coming up. And then we only have 3 more to go, and then just how fascinating that first pick went over $1 million and over 20 minutes of bidding. So here we go.
Miami, Nico Acevedo. And from Chile, he's the assistant men's tennis coach at the University of New Mexico. That's awesome. And the reason why this is some added context here, I've seen that Acevedo has played with Johnny Goldberg, played at the 2025 PPA Daytona Beach Open. They played together. Johnny Goldberg obviously heavily involved with the Miami Pickleball Club. I told Dave earlier we could see some movement here, and we have Nico Acevedo, and that's gonna be a fun team. Him and Yuta Funamisu on the men's side.
I mean, yes. So we apologize, Yuta, that you're listed as a female. We're getting you over there. We promise you. Here's what I love about this particular situation is Johnny has been fabulous at identifying talent. He has been behind some of the bigger names coming into the sport, and maybe this is another one, which is very fun. So I can't wait to see it. Now pretty much it's going to be 10K all the way to the end, and there's going to be some players that are surprised that they didn't get picked. There were players that we had in our best available that were more established. There were some youngsters. Most of the youngsters have been taken not all of the veterans have been taken, and I'm not surprised by that.
Pick number 26, bid secured, $10K once again, goes to the Bay Area Breakers. So now they're looking to, they have one spot for one women. They have Maya Bowie on that roster. So this is going to be their final start, and the pick is in for Bay Area. This is going to close out their role in part one. It is Ella Ye, the 15-year-old local.
Yes.
Going to be making her MLP debut for Bay Area, playing women's doubles alongside Maya Bowie.
Yay, Ella. This is a player I've known for a while here in the local area. Again, what is the upside to some of these teenagers? This is another player that works hard. I talked about that with Cam Chafin and Tama and others. Just so wants to be making progress in her career. And you know what jumpstarts that? Getting on an MLP team, getting around this squad, getting around the coaches here. Scott Crandall involved in this. Like, this is interesting. Maya, we want to see the upside. Ella, we have no idea. Wicked Tui has had some big Humana Championship Court matches already under her belt. We both like what we've seen from Len Yang. Obviously, Pablito. I mean, I heart Pablito, of course. So this is a great opportunity for her. Congrats. I'm very happy for Ella Ye here.
And for our penultimate pick, we have Miami. Excuse me. Well, I jumped in a little bit on that one. $10K.
How do you know it's
27.
Miami, Will?
I know, right? Just intuition, guys. I promise. It is Miami.
Miami's one of the two teams.
Right, it was 50-50, guys.
Yes.
I'm really good at poker. Sorry.
Again, what's the upside is the thinking here. Because the minimum bid on the other side of 28 is $1,000. So here's where you pay $9,000 more, but you don't have to fight in the $5,000-6,000 range, and that's why I recommend get the upside player here. If there's a veteran you like, wait until the other side.
And we have the pick for Miami. This will round out their roster for part one. And it's Estee Widdershoven from Belgium with their pick.
This is a player that I have watched play several times, and this is a great opportunity for her now, too, because, again, securing higher level partners, coaching, another organization to get their eyes on what you're doing well, what you're not, and figuring out, and again, Yuta, we know you're a guy. We will get that sorted out, brother. Apologies.
Sorry.
And, but look at what they're building right there. This is going to be fascinating because a lot of that list people haven't seen. Estee, not a lot of people have seen. I like what's going on there. It's fascinating, and I like that Miami said, look, we get it. We're not paying $90,000 to be 8th. We are going to pay $10,000 to maybe be 6th or have some growing pains with some newer players and work our way up there. So there's a lot of ways to look at this. I think the last couple picks are really interesting. Some are going to work and some aren't. That's the reality. We're all human beings. Some of the personalities might be besties for life, and some might be, I wish he or she wasn't on my team.
You said it yourself, Dave. Johnny Goldberg, great at developing talent, so cannot think of, I mean, such a great environment to be in with that Miami 100%. Pickleball Club team as you kind of work your way up the ranks, especially. And getting into our final pick, the final pick of the stream, final pick of part one of the draft, of course, goes to the California Black Bears, $10K. There was only one.
It's nice not to have to fight. It's, we're up, baby.
It's simple, it's easy, so we will get that pick in for you once it is decided. But a lot to talk about once.
Yes, we got to put a bow on this for sure.
A lot to talk about with this pick. And it looks like we are coming close to having that pick ready for you. California right now, of course, with Chris Hayworth, Kiora Kunimoto, Lane Sleeth on that roster. Could see some trades potentially once trade window number 2 opens up. Not quite sure about that yet, but they are looking for one male player to cap our coverage of the 2026 MLP draft.
Yeah, and I think as we look past this now, everyone, and we'll get some of the rosters of teams you haven't seen because you're like, guys, I haven't seen Ben Johns anywhere. What's going on? We'll explain that, and we'll go through those here in a minute. But I expect some bidding wars for a mixed doubles specialist, but big time for a singles specialist. If you need a male or female and you look out there and you're like, hey, we last year fell back because of the Dream Breaker. Let's fix that, and let's fix that. So I think the bidding for those first few picks, it could go north of 10 because now 20 are in the mix. Right now, literally one is in the mix.
And so we have the pick in for the Black Bears. It is Anwar Brahm who's going to be making his MLP debut.
Okay.
He's been grinding on the Challenger Tour. Dave, get this. He actually won double gold this past weekend at the Houston PPA Challenger. Won in men's singles, also won in men's doubles. So talk about a player on the rise. He's been having some good runs in main draw Carvana PPA Tour events as well. I love this pick for California.
And I love what it shows what the Challenger Tour has become. It is fantastic. You talked about some of the players that have earned. We have that unbelievable, it's like the tour school card that you try to get it at the end of the year in golf where you're fighting to secure a card. We have the same thing with our Challenger Tour. The top players get a chance to come play at Worlds and earn that chance, and then you earn your way in front of people, and you will see the right stuff on there. And let's get rid of that up on the screen here, and let's break down what we've seen here today because it has been spectacular. So we're literally typing live here for you so we get all of our guys' name on there. So 28 picks, incredible, over 1 million to start with, Will.
And it was over 20 minutes of back and forth bids, a grudge match between, you had some heavy hitters in there earlier, but really came down to St. Louis versus New Jersey. St. Louis brings back the queen, the captain, Anna Bright, and that has just got to be such a sense of relief for the Shock.
Oh, yeah, because there were so many funny videos they were posting. Hayden would be sitting with Gabe and Kate, and Anna would come up and shock only, sorry, AB. So they are back. They will be one of the favorites. The Fives changed the circus in a major, major way. They went into Dallas and stole the heartbeat of the Flash. They literally did. You bring Georgia Johnson up there. We've already seen her and Anna Lee. She's not going to want to be the look, it's me. That's not Georgia's thing. Georgia lets her paddle do the talking, and yes, she will talk. So you're going to have that same level of fire, but you're going to have Georgia there with Anna Lee. This is the best partner she's had in MLP. They want to win. I know they've won a midseason title, but let's be honest. They want to win the full thing. And I want to see just what on earth happens with that. And then Dallas today has not been a happy day. I don't know if Mark and that team is out there panhandling again or just crying in their tears that Georgia is going to be on the other side of the net with the Fives, their rival. And then finally, for me, the Sliders taking the upside bet. They let Leia go. I get it. They wanted some flexibility. They were the champions, and they said, you know what? We're going to a new continent. Danny L. Townsend, I can't wait to see you play. You got the king, Andre, there. You got Paris. You got the most lovable player with unbelievable upside still in CJ, and now another reason to watch the Sliders.
And I mean, that's just about, 3 or 4 teams, 17 of the 20 teams made picks in this first part of the draft. We're nowhere near finished. This stream is, but the draft will continue on the MLP website, MajorLeaguePickleball.com, and on their social medias as well. So you can go over there to see how teams round out their rosters. And you can see that, MajorLeaguePickleball.com. And there were a few teams.
.co. There's no M there,
actually,
yes.
Excuse me. there actually are a few teams that we did not get to see in action, did not get to see them make bids because they already had 4 or 5 members from the player keeper deadline. Those teams are the Carolina Hogs, the Las Vegas Night Owls, and the Los Angeles Mad Drops. So we'll see if we can potentially pull up the rosters for those teams just to update you on those 12 players. And here are the Carolina Hogs: Angie Walker, Ava Ignatowicz, James Delgado, and DJ Young. This team looks nearly completely different. A lot of their players, DJ Young, Angie Walker, were on Bay Area last year. James Delgado, of course, was on the Las Vegas Night Owls.
A lot of 3-way trades to get here.
Yes.
Liz Trueluck was sent out, who had a real nice end to her season. So that's Carolina. Let's take a look at the other one of the other 2 teams here, as well as. And I can't thank our technical squad here for putting this together, and for you at home to be watching this, just following along. It's Christmas for Will and I. We get to be the voice and the face of this, but so much hard work done by our amazing technical team of Carter, Brighton, and Keaton, and others. So thank you to them in a big, big way. You're sitting at home going, you haven't said Ben Johns yet, all right? Well, here's why. Tell them.
Well, Ben Johns did not have to be dropped. He was original pick from 2024, traded to the LA Mad Drops last year, so he's good to be kept for one more year. LA, I mean, there were accusations of a super team last year. They didn't quite get it done, but this team still is dangerous as ever. Ben Johns, they traded for Max Freeman in the offseason. And, of course, the ever-steady Catherine Parento and Jade Kawamoto. I mean, there's no weakness.
They can win it.
Yeah,
I would like to see some singles specialists to mix in there. Ben has always said he wants to play with a lefty. He was very close last year to playing a PPA tournament with Max, and we were in the middle of a contract thing. We, not me, but I would absolutely not get with the tour, and they did get that worked out. But after, and then he and Gabe, the rest is history. So that's 2 of the 3. One more squad that did not pick.
It's the Las Vegas Night Owls. 5 members on their roster: Zoe Wong, Brooke Buckner, Liz Trueluck, and the men, Blaine Hovenier and Roscoe Bellamy. Zoe Wong and Brooke Buckner have been on this team, played together. Well, they played together on the PPA Tour, played together all of 2025. Brought in Liz Trueluck as well, potentially for some singles support. She had a great start to the year at the Masters, making a deep run in singles there. And then Blaine Hovenier and Roscoe Bellamy. We know how good Roscoe is in singles. These guys, they're gonna rip the serve in doubles. I do not want anything to do with them on a doubles.
I mean, how tall is that? I mean, my goodness. You're gonna try and drop a third and go, I don't know how to do that. So a couple of the big SoCal tennis guys are together. Obviously, the infectious energy of Hovenier. That's 3 very good they're all good at singles, as well. So interesting. So we have teams planning for the future with the youngsters. We have teams hoping to move up. And then we have the top tier. I cannot wait to see this. We're not going to get to play until May, as we showed you in the videos. But, man, was today an awesome day. And we love that you were there at home following along, as we were as well. Couldn't wait to see where it came in, and look at that number.
That number, over $3.5 million spent on the best pickleball players in the world in round 1.
And just to be clear, that goes to the league, not to the players. So I'm sure Anna Bright would love that 7-figure number that was paid to get the spot for her, but that is not what happens.
Very important point there. 28 picks down, 38 to go. You can follow along on the MLP website or the MLP social medias. For Dave Fleming, I'm Will Daughton. We are so appreciative that you're spending part of your Friday with us. It brings us great joy to be able to share in these moments with you all from all across the country, all across the world. And we hope you're as excited for 2026 MLP as we are. We're going to end and send you off to another explainer video just to give you one more ounce of excitement for the upcoming Major League Pickleball season. Thanks so much. We'll see you next time.
This league sounds different. It moves different. Because this is the league that made pickleball a team sport. And that team spirit stretches far beyond the court. The passion runs deeper, and every point carries the weight of more than one name. This is Major League Pickleball, home of the hardest trophy to win in pro pickleball.
The chosen one are the champions, and you want to talk about putting on a performance to remember. That is what it's all about there.
I would say just come on out here and see for yourself.
Yeah.
I mean,
It's definitely a sport.
Yeah.
It's definitely a real sport.
MLP is kind of one of my favorite events just because you have a team. It's not just on you.
I just feel like there's so much more energy, so much more unhingedness. The signs, the calls, the audience, it's just more like raw and unfiltered.
You look at the brands, you look at the fans, you look at the engagement and excitement, like there's truly like nothing else like it. And you look back at like a couple of years ago and I was like, oh, I think this is going to be really good and this is going to be big. Let's close it on water.
What we want is to be part of a team, and I think that's what MLP brings in. It's like that energy.
This is my first time seeing MLP in person, and I will tell you that it is twice as exciting as seeing it on the screen.
You're seeing it live, you're just like, wow, how do they actually get there to that ball?
Well, I love the game. I love how it just brings people together, communities together.
Here, the scoreboard matters. But what endures is what surrounds it. The fans who feel every point like it's theirs. This is what happens when individual moments become something shared. When the game becomes a team. When a team and a league becomes a community. Major League Pickleball. There's nothing else like it.
I am so fired up for the MLP season. In fact, I'm going to go to California right now and do another show. We're going to break down everything. We got Steve Weissman, Matt Manassi, and Jessie Irvin. Well, she's going to be talking about the youngsters that are on her squad. So we're going to have that for you. That'll be noon on Sunday on Pickleball TV. We're going to interview some of the big-time stars from Major League Pickleball as well. So for my guy, Will Daughton, for all our hard-working crew here, thank you, pickleball fans at home. I hope you enjoyed Pickleball Christmas as much as I did. Peace.